In this video, I am going to talk about how to go around on the test day and what you should be prepared before attending the test. First of all, I would say go test center early. For me, it was in Thane, which is 1 hour of traveling time from my place. So you may also book some test center that is far away from your home. Secondly, you shouldn't be carrying anything uh, except your passport. That's all you require. No pencil, no pen. I gave a computer delivered test, so of course it was not necessary for me. But even if you are thinking of taking a paper-based test, then too they are not required for you. They will provide you with the papers and the pencils and pen that you require. Really, the tests are booked on 2 different days. What I mean to say is that if you're planning to take tests, for example, on 3rd September, then you might be having your speaking module 5 days before or later the test day. So you will be needing to visit the test center 2 times. But you can say luckily or unfortunately, I just had all my modules like along with speaking and listening, writing, and reading on just one day. So like anyways, like the other 3 modules are like 3 hours paper, and then again I had to like wait for 3 hours again to just have my speaking module. So this is like, in short, I required to be at the test center for like 7 hours. So it was a quite long waiting for me. My test center was booked in Mumbai, and staff members were really cooperative. And I'm sure like wherever you are booking, then it is going to be a like friendly environment that you would be pushed into, because they actually know that this can be stressful, so they won't be adding you into like another pile of stress. So be cool when you are attempting the exam, because most of your marks would be depending on the state of mind that you are entering the exam center. Like for everyone, I would suggest to just reach the center like 30 minutes early, because there can be discrepancies that needed to be resolved. For me, the guard or the one who was at the reception just told me that no, you don't, your names are not on the list, your exams are not today. But I was shocked, but still I was calm, and then he rechecked and he convinced his superiors that this boy has appointment today, but there are some, due to some error, it is not been reflecting on his page. So it was resolved, but these things can actually break your peace of mind, so be prepared for this. For speaking, you would be made to sit with the other candidates in a room, and I would suggest you to just speak with some of the candidates over there. By that means you would be already in that phase of speaking English, so naturally you would be like entering another room where there would be an examiner who would be judging you. But I would suggest, if you are able to speak before entering that room with the other candidates, then it is going to be helpful. Next, I think according to the IELTS, it is supposedly to be a native English speaker, but this is not mandatory. Like I was expecting to look some foreigner in the room. To my surprise, she was an Indian. And yeah, I would say that you don't need to be stressed. It is just going to be a mini interview kind, in which they will ask, which will be categorized into 3 sections, and you will be, for first section you will be asked some basic questions. And a piece of advice would be to you that just take them as someone old granny person who is just looking for after you, after your speaking skills. And yeah, actually it felt like this, because she was an old person and she was really kind. uh, it is like they can stop you in middle, in any part, so don't get afraid. This is just made to make you nervous, but you shouldn't be showing this on your face on the test day. Like they will ask you questions deeply, and this is something that happened to me. Like I was answering my questions perfectly in task 1, but then she was again answering, questioning me for with follow back question, why. So this is something that you would be not expecting to, but even if you get some questions out of nowhere, you should be just answering it with your full confidence. That's the key. You should be vocal enough to just uh, give your conversation to the pass out it to the examiner, and it should be confident enough. Another piece of advice: start your conversation with short answers in task one, because like my first question was, where do I live, or how did I travel here to the exam center. So if you are asked some questions like this, you should be answering short, because if you are taking some advice from friend that you should answer all questions briefly, then yes, you should, but it should be done in the latter part. As if you are doing this in earlier part, and if you make a mistake, this is going to just drop your confidence down. Next point, they are not going to judge you solely on just one model. Like if you're thinking that you're making mistake in one of the other models, then don't worry, they are just going to check it holistically, and then they will be giving you a band. Another tip, I would say that like practice a lot for speaking model itself other than any models, because this is something that is that needs to be like a habit for you to be inculcated. It's not like a writing or reading that you would be going there and just it depends on the state of mind while you are giving. Like it actually depends on the state of mind that is on that day, but like this is going to reflect in the speaking model the more. Like if you're not a natural English speaker, then you, even if you try to fake it, it is going to be blown at some point of time, and that's what examiners would be looking for. Like they will bombard you with questions again and again, and they just want you to just lose your peace. This doesn't seem natural, but you shouldn't stop in any point of conversation. Like it is okay if you are speaking something nonsense and illogical, but here the interviewer are looking for your speaking skills, not your uh, like cognitive skills. So just be focused that this is an English exam and not an interview that an interviewer would be selecting you. So even if you are answering some rubbish, just do it in fluent way. Memorize, like I see many of people are memorizing the cue cards that they would be giving in task 2, and they would be starting with the flow, and it just looks like you're robotic. I would say stay natural as you can. This is going to get you more bands than what you could be doing with memorizing, because they are keen enough. Okay, you are not going to fool them. They are doing this job for like 25 years, so they know who is a natural speaker and what is their capabilities. My score in speaking was 7 bands. It's great, but I was expecting to be 7.5. But after my examination, I learned that like there is a certain threshold till which you can practice, but after that your natural instincts going to reflect. Like uh, of course you cannot compete with someone who is speaking English for like 16 years of life, and they are surrounded by this kind of environment. You can do it, you can fake it a little, but like the I'm talking about the point 0.5 difference that uh, led me to just have 7 bands. So this is something that you should be natural enough, and you should be English speaker. So don't take it like if you're scoring low or something like that. This is due to like this is not in your control. Okay, anyway you required some 6 band or something to pass it, pass the exam, so you should be happy enough with that. For listening, well, listening is something that is required. You are required to like do it way before the exam, because even if you are like thinking of with doing this with practice, like you can practice in reading, writing and speaking, but listening is something that you should, your subconscious mind plays a major role in getting you a higher band. What I mean to say is that if you're like watching animes or Netflix, or you are watching Hollywood movies and you are able to understand it, then this is going to provide you a higher edge than those who are not, who is not able to understand even Hollywood movies. Like it happened with me when I was in my 12th. I went for this Avengers movie when I was not able to actually catch up that phrase. Like my other friends were like laughing at some joke, and I was like, हंसना था. So this could be a thing for you, but you need to do this for a long time if you want a higher band in listening. My score at the end was 8.5, which is great. uh, so how did I was able to manage with such high bands? The thing is that you would be provided with pencil and paper alongside the computer, but you shouldn't be using this. You should, when your timer starts, you should be just typing the questions, answer to the questions, and more, just do it more focused way, and go for the online tests that are already on the sites. One of the site that I would like to quote here is IELTS online test. So from here you can actually practice more listening, real like listening tests, where you would be having this environment, uh, like an exam like situation. Now coming to the writing, this is the most crucial part, crucial section in which you would be facing a lower band, and this is true for me too. I just scored 6, which is actually very close enough. Like I was worried I would be scoring 5.5 and I had to just retake the exam, even if though I was able to get higher scores in the other models. But luckily I was able to pass it out. And I also remember on the test day, many of the students were just appearing, it was their second attempt just because they scored low in the writing sections, below 6. So why is it happening? Why most of us are just scoring less in writing? Well, some of the part you would blame to the culture or something like that, because like I remember till 12th we were not actually taught in the structure or the same format that the Western countries are expecting. Like before I thought that my writing was great, but later I dig more deep into it, then I realized, okay, this is a structure that the examiners are looking for. Okay, this is the grammar. So like there are many of the sources on internet, but just stick to the one or two is again a rule that is followed a lot over the seas, that like you shouldn't be mentioning many ideas. You should be just sticking with one idea and just you have to deep down in it. Like your paragraph should look like one idea per para. So this is something that will help you in scoring high. Again, you you should just cover all the criteria that are there looking to, like cohesion and task achievement and grammars and vocabulary. Other thing is that you shouldn't be using high level vocabulary, because that is not how writers actually write naturally. So vocabulary just doesn't mean that you use some word like listen to mention understand. You should just use uncommon words, and your phrases should be natural looking. That's all that they want to do. Is that take a good nap before you are going to appear on the exam, because I think before my results, my writing scores were like 7 band. I never expected it to be falling below 6.5, but this was major, like my sleeping habit actually played major role in this. Like I was not able to sleep 2 days before the exams, and this actually reflected on these writing models. uh, and I would therefore advise that, like, you may be able to manage with others, but in writing you have to show your uh, like you have to output rather than you have to just input and just analyze it. So for that output mind of your brain, like you should be creative and you should be like thinking enough to put it on paper or screen. So for that reason, if you're not able to just focus on that day, then this is going to be a terrible for your scorecard. Now coming to reading. Well, reading is something that is difficult for most of them, but again for the others like me, it is pretty easy. Like I scored 9, like it is the highest anyone can score, and like I was not surprised because I was naturally good at it. Like just like I told the previous video, you would be very good with some models but very weak with the others. So reading was my strength. The whole reading model would be carried out for 60 minutes, and you may face difficulty with managing the time. but I could assure that on the test day it is going to be little easier than what you practice from the Cambridge books. Like I remember I never completing the whole reading module like less than 58 minutes, but on the test day I just completed it just in 45 minutes, and I was like, for 50 minutes I was not sure like did I cover all the question, how was I able to finish it in so less amount of time. But the trick is that uh, I just practiced with so much of difficult questions in my practice exams that I was able to just feel it easy in the actual exam. And again, it is actually going to be easier than the actual exam. You shouldn't be just going through all the like the sections of the IELTS reading is very long. Then you may feel tired a little bit, but the catch is that you should be going through the questions, like all the questions. Like there is section 1, then you should go for question 1, question 2, question 3, and then move on to the paragraph reading, and you should be reading the whole paragraph paragraph by paragraph. Like there would be A, B, C, D, E paras. So just think that you're not reading a long text, just think that you're reading some parts of the text. So this attitude going to like make you feel more relaxed than making you tired that you're reading so much. Another thing, practice reading a sentence once only and understand it. When you're practicing, you shouldn't be reading paragraph again and again. You should be just fluent enough to just read it once and understand what the paragraph is saying. Okay, the last tip, even if you are prepared so much for your last few months, this is something that you should consider on actual test, is that you may have practiced like module wise, but something that is going to take your whole score down is that you're not prepared for sitting 3 hours or more than that to just give every module one after another. So please practice this beforehand, before the exam, to just sit and give the whole sections in just one go. So this is all for this video. I hope that some of these tips are going to be helpful for you. I just made this video because along all this my preparation months, I was just facing these kinds of people, like they just wanted to clear this video or just clear this exam, and then like they were treating it like just one gateway for everything. Remember, even if you score low, it is just an exam. Don't give it more importance than it is required. Don't let it creep into your life. So just practice strategically, and I am optimistic that you will be getting this score that you want. So if you like this video, give a thumbs up and see you in next one.